Hello. Welcome, beautiful, vibrant souls, to today's pick a card reading. So sorry, I've got crazy hair today. I've done my best to tame her, but that's okay. Here's where we are. So today's pick a card reading is going to be all about what is your next big journey. My intention for this was that let me try this again, that this was at more of a spiritual level, though everything has, as it has an internal manifestation, there's an external manifestation, and in the same way, whenever there's a spiritual journey, often impacts our earthly circumstances. So just kind of keep that in mind. Excuse me, allergies. Sorry about the mess, by the way, in the background. I'm in the middle of moving things around and cleaning, but I wanted to do this because this was important. This message wanted to come out. I haven't seen the cards yet because I like to discover them with you guys, but I will say something that I'm feeling from the groups immediately is that I feel like there's a lot of entanglement. So with that in mind, if you're drawn to more than one group, I would recommend watching more than one group. I will try as much as possible to, as I go along, let's say I'm working on group 3 and there's themes I see in group 1, to mention stuff like that. Yeah, there's also even something where, you might be kind of starting the journey that's mentioned. And let's say a month from now, you want to come back and watch one of the other groups. Again, there's a lot of entanglement here. Don't be surprised as well if you pick one and it's a journey that you've recently just wrapped up, because again, energy is fluid. So just keep that in mind. I already can feel that coming through with a lot of the groups. So there might be a lot of collective messages, which I also am kind of picking up on. I will say at the bottom of one of the decks, when I put it back in the box, there was a card, a death card, not the death card from the tarot, but a death card, and another one, there was a North Node card. So a lot of us are experiencing a cycle ending, and a lot of us are getting that push toward our destiny. So yeah, this is really going to be looking at what your next journey is. So as you saw in the thumbnail, we have with group 1, we have this beautiful hemimorphite. Love it. Look how beautiful. Look at that color. Look at her. Gorgeous. Group 2 had this lovely blue apatite. So peaceful. I love her too. I love all my little crystals. I've apparently turned into a crystal girl. I was never one before, but lately I'm just like, give me all the gorgeous rocks you have. And group 3 with this lovely plum tourmaline. Look at her. So take the time that you need. You can pause the video, meditate. Excuse me, meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you when you have picked one, the stacks in front of you. I'm like, I know you can't see. Sorry, I'm still moving stuff around, so I have to kind of get creative with my setup for a little bit. But on the options, and then when you have picked one that best resonates with your energy, head down to the timestamps in the description box below, and we will get started. All right. Hi, group 1. So you guys picked this lovely hemimorphite. One of the things I'm immediately drawn to, so I got those 3 little obelisk towers at the same time. These 2 are all hexagonal. These two are hexagonal. There we go. Whereas this is the only one that's got a square shape. So for me, this is a lot more about kind of building stability. This can be about escaping stagnancy, which I almost never say for this one. So I feel like that's important. I almost said potent. Hemimorphite is a lot. It's a crystal utilized for creating a lot of emotional stability. But I'm really drawn to look at the little sort of, I don't know what they're called, and I'm so sorry. Feel free to put it in the comments. But the thing, there's these little holes, these little cracks. So something I'm immediately getting, there was this image of when I was talking about escaping stagnancy, something disintegrating, right? Whatever is coming in for you guys, I feel like it is ultimately to create greater emotional stability in the long run, but it might feel like something is crumbling. I feel many of you are already going through this, especially because I almost used this for group 2, and then I was urged at when I was setting everything up, I was urged no, put this out for group 1. And notice even too, I've never really even noticed this. 3 sides here. We got 1, 2, 3 that are mostly light blue, but then this one is this is darker browns, right? There's something here where it's something's not in alignment and it needs to shift and change. It's like you've done all this other work or everything else is kind of coming into alignment, but this area needs to be addressed. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So with that, and my bones cracking, let's see what you have. You have the crown chakra coming through with instinct. Okay. All right. We have a full moon image here. Right off the bat, again, something has got to come to fruition and completion. This wolf is like, you know, looking in two different directions. There's something where you're split or where you're going down a new path. But again, there's almost like there's one area, there's something that's just not working. It's keeping you, it's holding you back. And this is something where I feel like you're about to start getting a lot of downloads about this. I don't even think of this as like a third eye energy, right? Because it says the crown chakra, but it's not even like, oh, I'm getting, you know, visions of this. I'm hearing this, you know, it's not like your psychic senses. This feels more like a download. Like I need to act on this. Again, we have instinct here. So there's something where you might be called to make a quick decision and you're really being encouraged to follow your instincts. It's not just an urge. It's not just a moment. These are like, this is channeled divine information. So let's see what else you have. Wow. Okay. Graveyard with unnecessary fear. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. And Jupiter with expansion. This is beautiful. Okay. So we have enthusiasm, optimism, generosity, benevolence, beliefs, luck, seeking, travel, positivity. Excuse me. Positivity, lectures, foreign cultures, teaching, pilgrimage, chance, expansion, leaping, exploration, and potential. Okay, so some of you looking at where your Jupiter is in your chart might kind of give you a little bit of an idea of where this is going to be playing out, how this is going to be playing out. I'm really drawn into generosity and travel. So I like the fact that we have unnecessary fear, right? Graveyard, something is done. Something is coming to completion. We were talking about that before, and there needs to be a change. I feel a lot of you, there needs to be this expansion. I want to find out what is coming to a close. What cycle? Queen of Swords. This is a cycle of you getting very, very clear on your worth, on your boundaries, what serves you and what doesn't. This is why you're being encouraged to trust your instincts, both because you are getting a lot of divine guidance, divine wisdom at this time, pardon my itchy nose, and also because you have been going through a cycle where you have really been having to trust yourself, right? You know, the Queen of Swords doesn't get to be the Queen of Swords by walking through fields of flowers and everything's wonderful all the time. She goes through some serious BS. And that's why she, you know, she smacks away serious BS because she knows what she's talking about. You've been going through a cycle of learning how strong and how resilient you really can be. Yeah, the Empress at the bottom, you know your worth. You know your worth. And there's something where, you know, with unnecessary fear on the graveyard card, I think there's fear of trusting yourself. Or there might be a fear around what's to come. There might be a specific change that you know needs to happen. I have so many stray hairs. I'm sorry. This is just driving me bonkers. What is this shift? Okay, Page of Cups reversed. Some of you are approaching parenthood. Is something I immediately got. And there's fear. The Empress, yeah, because she's a mother. Ace of Swords. Some of you, and Nine of Cups reversed at the bottom. Okay. Some of you are, like I said, some of you are approaching parenthood. And there is this fear of what comes next. There's this fear of that process, especially if you have experienced a lot of emotional upheaval in your own childhood, and especially with a mother figure. There's fear over, am I prepared for this? And there's going to be this clarity coming in. We see this with the Ace of Swords. Some of you, this is where you've had a difficult cycle with your own mother. And I feel like it's been a lot around inner child healing. You've been doing a lot of work where you've been doing your own healing work and setting boundaries with others and possibly for yourself, possibly with this person, with this, you know, this mother figure. I'm just sitting with this for a sec. Because what I'm noticing too is that in this version, she's got all the pomegranates on her robes here. And the pomegranates are usually on the high priestess. Pomegranates are also very much associated with the underworld. There's something where you've been in this cycle of looking at everything that you have lost. I see that here again, especially very heavy emphasis on childhood issues, childhood healing. You've looked at everything you have lost, and you have been working on this cycle of seeing yourself as so very powerful as a result. Somebody who's able to take all the endings, all the conclusions, all the difficulty, right? We even see this in Graveyard, all the endings, and turn them into wisdom, turn them into abundance, turn them into something beautiful. Again, I think a lot of you are getting the sense of the truth of your own power, the truth of what you have been able to overcome. Some of you, this has been predicated on like really being able to connect with and identify what you have been through and be able to be like, wow, that's not something a child should have had to deal with. And you've been able to empathize with yourself, but it's also created this sense of greater self-respect and admiration. It's been a very key part of this journey for you. I want to know what's coming up next, though. So we have, generosity and travel were the words standing out to me here. Some of you, you're going to get an opportunity to travel, and I feel this is something that's being given to you. Something is landing in your lap, and there might be this fear about whether or not to take action. Again, something might just be happening. For some of you, like I said, with these other cards we've seen, you're approaching parenthood, and that opportunity is possibly surprisingly landing in your lap. And there's a fear around whether or not you're ready. But let's get some more specifics about what this expansion is, what this thing is that's landing in your lap. Okay, 8 of Swords reversed. This is going to be something that changes your perception pretty significantly. 2 of Cups reversed. Okay, this is going to be changing your perception on a significant soul relationship. This feels very serious. We're going to talk about it. The 10 of Pentacles. Okay, I want to look at this card, but maybe not take it. The Magician reversed. And the Ace of Pentacles reversed at the bottom. There is something that I feel in your past has not worked out. This feels more recent. That has not worked out. This could be this 2 of Cups reversed energy, but it's the sense of with the Magician reversed, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, you were trying to manifest something and it did not come to fruition, right? And it made you doubt your own power. So what's coming in right now is some information, some understanding about why something did not work out. This is very likely a soul-based relationship. Now, this could be more, again, I'm feeling a little more recent. This could be with that Magician with a Gemini or a Virgo. This could be something where, this is like from the past, but something has recently happened. And I'm hearing recently within the last 2 years. So something, this could be somebody you've known for a long time, but there was like maybe a falling out, something happened. There was the dissolution of something that was supposed to be for you, right? Heavy emphasis on interpersonal connection here. And what is happening is that this information, this understanding is coming to you in order for you to get clarity, right? With the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like this is in order to empower you. I'm going to clarify this in a sec, but in order to empower you to go after something or to let yourself have something, it's really interesting. He's sitting down. So I was talking about landing in your lap, and like that's the part that's like being displayed is like his arms are folded in his own lap. What is this card? Knight of Pentacles. And again, this person's holding the pentacle right around that area. This is something you've been on a quest to establish for a long time. Those are both very sturdy, stable energies. What is this 10 of Pentacles? I'm really curious about this. Okay. Wow. Okay, the High Priestess reversed, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. I feel like some of you are getting, it's like a do-over. I'm getting like emotional just talking about this. God damn it, group 1. How dare you make my eyes wet. No, but like this is a do-over. This is absolutely a do-over. And this is something where it's going to bring all the pieces together so you understand at an emotional level, a spiritual level. You're about to go on a journey. And this is like, I feel like you're getting this opportunity. This could be coming from an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Excuse me. So for example, let's say this is a relationship, right, that didn't work out. And it didn't work out because this person didn't appropriately value and respect you, right? This would be like somebody comes in to give you an offer, and it's everything you've ever wanted out of a relationship, right? The whole thing. Like, it's the now, it's the future. It I don't want to say erases the past or makes it not important, but it's kind of like, again, it's a do-over. It's kind of like, you know what? I got what I wanted. I'm good now. You guys are getting what you want. I will say Jupiter in astrology is the husband. So some of you guys are getting, this is like a very committed long-term partner. The King and Queen of Pentacles rule the empire. That's the 10 of Pentacles. And it's going to make everything make a lot of sense. But there is still this instinct. I feel like you do still have to either like say yes to something, or like there's going to be an offer. There's going to be a very, I feel, abundant offer, but you have to say yes to it. What is this abundant offer? Okay, the Two of Swords. Yeah, you have to be able to make a decision. You have to be able to take action toward it. What is this, though? I'm nosy. The Four of Wands reversed. Some of you, you're going to have to relocate for this. For some of you, this could be career as well. Four of Cups reversed. This might be something that you initially hesitate on. This could be something that you said no to in the past. This could be somebody who said no to you in the past. The Knight of Pentacles underneath it, though, this was just like, this was timing. There's a long journey because there were things that still had to fall into place in order for you to get this Ace of Wands, but there's that new beginning. So what you guys, essentially the spiritual journey you guys are on, I'm hearing is reclamation. And again, it's like a do-over. This is judgment kind of meets justice energy. This is divine justice. Because now I feel you have this sense of self-worth, this sense of wisdom, this sense of discernment that you did not have before. What I'm almost getting, because I'm noticing they're back-to-back in the placement, is almost kind of this energy of like, you now have this beautiful sense of abundance within, and that's what like empowers you to set your boundaries, right? That's what empowers you to externalize, like, this is what I'm worth. This is what I've created within myself, so I'm protecting that. You are a self-protector now. And I think this is making up for childhood wounding that never got resolved. You've been doing the healing work, and as a result, you're now getting what you want. What is this Four of Wands reversed, though? Again, some of you are moving. Some of you, you're finally getting the union you wanted. Some of you, you're getting the union you wanted, but not with who you thought. Or like you're finding your soul tribe, but it's different than what you thought it was going to be. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, I feel like you're hesitant about this. And there's that Knight of Pentacles. So again, a lot of earth energy. Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah, there's something where, and the Six of Wands reversed. I think you had this idea before of what this was going to be or who this was going to be. You may have thought it was going to be a water sign. It ends up being an earth sign. But there's this sense of, I think before, there may have been this predilection, whether this is work or relationships, this predilection toward things that sounded good, but never really went forward. Things that tugged on your heartstrings emotionally, but had no substance, no, I'm hearing satisfaction, but like had no grounding. They couldn't back it up. They couldn't maintain it. And before, that was a reflection of something in your own energy, right? Where you struggled to set boundaries for your own, for yourself, right? Or like have that self-respect. Everything in our lives is a reflection of some aspect of self, some aspect of our own energy. So for example, when somebody is not respecting us, it can be a reflection of somewhere in our life where we're not respecting ourselves, right? I think you guys had with that Two of Cups reversed something fall apart to show you where there needed to be more self-love, more self-protection. And this is what I think is changing this situation, is that I think there's something where you've been working on making decisions for the long term for yourself, working on making decisions that are stable for yourself, not just gratifying in the moment, that are also self-constructive, not self-destructive. And that's what's bringing in this beautiful opportunity. I do think, like I said, this opportunity is going to ask something of you, ask you to say yes to something you wouldn't have said yes to in the past, ask you to reconsider something potentially, ask you to relocate and move. There's some aspect of your life you're going to need to. It's interesting, we're talking about this with the 4, and we have 2 4s here. You're going to need to deconstruct some aspect of your life in order to have your actual true happiness. What are you going to need to deconstruct? This might just be as simple as, like I said, if you're relocating, saying goodbye to people and being prepared to do that. I don't want to say simple, like it's easy, but straightforward. Page of Swords reversed. This is actually asking you to deconstruct, I feel like, a thought process or how you communicate. Some of you might, this might be impacting how you communicate digitally. So like, let's say you're moving somewhere where it's a little more remote. You might not be as in contact or as plugged in to social media as you are now. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, we have a king and queen showing up. Somebody I feel is going to make you an offer of a partnership, whether in business or love. And there's a sense of what you're deconstructing. I feel like, I'm going to clarify this Page of Swords. Getting all the cards here. Temperance. Okay. What you're deconstructing is, I feel, this pattern, and you've been working on this, of not advocating for yourself, right? This can be kind of like a childlike way of communicating. And we saw that Queen of Swords earlier. You're deconstructing this, and you've been working on this, but specifically in partnership, in significant partnership, again, whether in love or business, because you've been doing the healing work, and this is the next stage. Somebody would like to offer you something very long-term, very stable, very committed, and it's going to be, I feel like, you needing to act on those instincts. And there might be moments where it's a little challenging. It's challenging to what you've learned to apply that and be able to speak so openly and honestly and in, defense of self, I guess I'll say, for a better, lack of a better term, in your own best interest. But I do think you're going to, with instinct, you're being guided, and with unnecessary fear, there are going to be fear-based moments, but you're going to be guided with the instinct to push through those. This is the next stage of your healing journey and your shadow work. And not only does it have a lot of abundant blessings, but it's something that you're ready for now. So that's actually quite beautiful. I think that's everything I have for you guys, Group 1. Thank you so much for being here. If you're looking for a personal reading, feel free to check out my shop or DM me. I do customs. Yeah, this is beautiful, and I'm wishing you lots of luck on this new venture. So yeah, take care. Bye. That's such a nice message. I like that. Go, Group 1. You glow. You go, Glen Coco. You glow, Glen Coco. Yeah, no, that works. That sticks. That hangs together. Okay. Okay. Hey, Group 2. I feel like this, like, light but enthusiastic energy. Blue apatite can be really, really great for bringing in peaceful thoughts, peaceful communication. I definitely feel that here. There's a sense of, like, I feel like there's this energy of, I've checked all the boxes, I've said what I need to say. It's almost kind of like, it's off my plate, and that's good. Sorry, my cat is doing something in the other room that I don't want to know what he's doing, but it sounds like I'm going to be sad about it later. That's fine. That's later. That's not now. We're peaceful right now. Nugget, stop it. You guys, he's the cutest little menace I've ever known. But yeah, this feels like like you're just kind of like you're getting things done and you're feeling good about it, and it feels like it's not a huge weight on you, right? It feels like you're getting things done, but you're not overly stressed out about it. So I quite like that already. So let's take a look at what you guys have. You have grief. Okay. Heart chakra energy coming up here. You have 8th house with intimacy. Okay. We have investments, intensity, contracts, sex, erotic capital, secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, kundalini energy, stalking, and the underworld. Excuse me. I feel like I'm really drawn into investments, erotic capital, and the underworld. We'll talk about it. You have ghost with regret. Okay. So the cycle I feel like you guys are in, there's a lot of death energy in your group in particular. but it feels very light, right? And death energy, this can mean literally, you know, somebody passing away. We have this image of this woman holding her dog that died. So some of you may have just lost a pet, and you're dealing with that. What's this grief energy all about? You know, and I want to say, there's a lot of things I want to say about this, but the you know, the abridged version is, grief consciousness is, of course, incredibly difficult, right? If you've ever lost anyone who's important to you, human or animal or, you know, anything in between, you'll know how hard it is to say goodbye to a loved one of any kind. But grief consciousness also really can offer some beautiful gifts, right? If you've ever helped anyone through the dying process, some really amazing things can come out of that time, right? One of the things I love and I value about grief consciousness is that it's usually where we are letting go of regret. We're letting go of regret, right? We let go of, you know, we're sitting with these things, we're letting go. And I like that in this version, we have the light coming in from all the windows. It's like we shine lights on things that we usually keep in the dark with this 8th house energy. This is like, you know, the 8th house is all about intimacy. It is death and rebirth. And one of the things that grief consciousness can offer us with our loved ones is that we're not hanging on to anything, because there's almost like there's nothing left to lose, right? Pretty much. This is where people start saying the I love yous they wish they had said. This is where people start embracing their authentic self. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. But it leads them to at least accept these parts of self, right? We leave it all on the field at that point. And that's something I think that can be really beautiful about what grief consciousness offers us. And watching somebody that we love go through that, or, you know, if we lose a pet, for example, experiencing those emotions within ourselves is painful and difficult, but it also offers some really lovely gifts. I'm thinking of the book Walking Each Other Home by Ram Dass and Mirabai Bush. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but if you're going through the grieving process or the dying process, you're helping somebody through that process, please go read it. It's beautiful. It's one of the only books, you know, I'm going to tell on myself. I am in my early 30s, and it's one of the only books that has just made me bawl in a very good way. So I would highly recommend it. But anywho, some of you may have been in this grief process. Some of you, I'm just taking a sip of my tea. Oh my God, this tea is so good. Oh my God. Excuse me. Some of you may have been in this process. Some of you might be going through this process. Again, the blue appetite, I was feeling like mentally, I got dizzy as soon as I picked it up. I was feeling like mentally lighter, communicatively lighter. Some of you are going through this, and there are actual, like, a lot of gifts, excuse my burp, in this process. Let me clarify this grief. What this is ultimately leading to is a clearance and an expansion of the heart chakra, particularly with another person or about another person. There's the 2 of Pentacles. I got to cover her because she's naked. But I like that in this version, she's naked. Nakedness always implies vulnerability. There's something where, you know, it could be you and another person, or like 2 aspects of self. And there's kind of been this debate, this going back and forth, trying to juggle between your authentic feelings and maybe what's expected of you in the material world. And I feel that juggling process is being lifted from you through this, whatever this grief consciousness is offering you. 7 of Pentacles, okay. The 4 of Pentacles reversed, I'm not surprised. And the Emperor reversed, okay. So some of you, this is Aries energy. You could have lost an Aries. You could be losing an Aries. This is a father figure. This is the divine masculine energy. So this is a husband and a father. These could be who you've lost or who you're losing. Some of you could be losing a job. I will be honest. This is something that you love with the dog imagery on this card. Something that you've been loyal to. But this has been something that has been, you know, the 8th house is always about stripping away the ego, right? This has been something that you have connected to through a sense of ego. And so there's a loss that's here, either of a person or of a version of self. Somebody that you are close with, somebody who has, you know, always been like in control, had their stuff together. They've been a boss, like I said, a husband, a father kind of energy. They make shit happen. They might be getting sick. They might be dying, they might be, and so you'll already know this. This is not a surprise. This is likely something you already know. Or, maybe they haven't been doing so well for a while, or they're getting older. This depicts a man with like, long white hair and beard. But this is something where, we have mountains here. This person has overcome a lot of obstacles, has accomplished a lot. And what's happening is that there might be this process where you and this person only ever got so far, right? If this is a relationship, we'll talk about the other scenarios in a minute. You only ever got so far. So like, let's say this is a father figure. You guys only ever connected so far. What's missing is that heart level expansion. This may have been somebody who never talked about their feelings. This may have been somebody who was very focused on their work, right? They were focused on being a provider. They may have been able to do everything for everyone for the longest time, and now they might be struggling to do things for themselves. The way you guys think about each other and the way you talk to each other is about to go through a big shift because of this. You are about to get to know each other at a much deeper level. And the gift in all this, I'm like, God, these groups today are making me emotional. The gift in all of this is to erase regret. So there's nothing to hold on to anymore. Now, some of you, this person could have already crossed over, and you're doing the healing and grieving and purging work. And this is why, because there is truth, very deep truth that needs to come out. I see this with the Four of Pentacles. This is the walls coming down. This is also a breakdown in security, a breakdown in comfort zone, right? And in this version, he's holding on to 3 pentacles, right? This is spiritual partnership. He's got 1 on his head. Normally, the card shows 1 under each foot. The person is holding 1, and they've got 1 on top of their head, because that seems like a good idea, I guess. But this one, they're holding on to the 3 pentacles, and there's 1 on top, right? Meaning this is somebody who's holding on to a relationship the way it was, because they feel like it worked. Why change it? This can be somebody who's holding on to a job, right? And this is the other thing I see, right? And with the 1 on top, this means you're getting new consciousness that's leading to a lot more stability. It's a gift, even if it doesn't feel like that, even if it feels like things are falling apart. Some of you, this is also about, this could be about, a change in your body where it's not, you feel like your body is giving up on you, giving out on you, and you're having to ask for help, maybe when you didn't have to ask for help before. And there feels like there's this process of, like having to really show up in a much more vulnerable way than you've had to before. Again, the entire purpose is to clear heart chakra blockages and strip away layers of ego. Because whatever is going to come out has been keeping you from a certain level of authentic connection, either with self or others or spirit, the way that you've been asking for. Even if it's not a conscious awareness, we sometimes need to strip away the stuff that's in the way, but that's comfortable. That is the reason why that stuff is in our life, because it's comfortable. Some of you, this is the loss of a job. This is a really specific message, so please only take this if it resonates. Some of you, there's a loss of a job, and there's a lack of, and this was something you were very loyal to with the dog image. You really loved your career. You're very married to this idea. But some of you, there's going to be this loss of a job, and it's going to, with erotic capital, you might start looking into other forms of income. Use your imagination. And there's something here where there's going to be these aspects of self that are liberated, right? But, even if that's not what you end up doing, again, it's a very specific message. It's like there is going to be this loss of control. There's going to be a loss of, a sense of self. Some of you, like I said, are losing a job. And while there's a lot of, there might be fear around how that's going to play out. What's going to come out of this is the sense of maybe you had a really controlling boss and you're like, you know what? I feel liberated. The entire purpose, like I've said, is to really open up the heart chakra. It's also to leave you with like lighter thoughts. You're speaking lighter words. This is meant to really open you up. What is this meant to bring into your life as a result? Strength reverse. I feel like there's something where you've been holding on to it for so long and it's taken more than you've realized. This is Leo energy, and this is meant to set you free. Look at all those mountains again in the background. The High Priestess gets you closer to spirit. The Six of Cups. All right, I want to look at this card but not take it. The Chariot. This is Cancer's energy, home and family, shadow work here. This is why I feel like you might be losing someone. The Knight of Swords at the bottom. I think you and this person, you've always connected on an intellectual level. You know, you might kind of have that, it's almost this relationship of, you know, you find each other really funny, you tell a lot of jokes, but you also piss each other off. And I'm saying this too because we have Leo and Pisces here. These two signs are quincunx from one another on the wheel of the zodiac, and these are often karmic placements, which is also indicated by the Six of Cups. But this is, you know, these are challenging aspects. So you and this person, I always call it the backed into a corner aspect, because the quincunx is when things just boomerang back around until it's dealt with. You and this person may have had the same issues over and over and over and over again. And that's why there's a big change here. Like, even if it's not, you know, somebody transitioning over, maybe this is where you get injured and you need to rely on this person for help, right? There's not a lot of emotionality in this connection. Even if there is a lot of like love and affection, you guys don't speak that way. You guys don't, you know, I'm really drawn to right now the scroll in the High Priestess's hand. There's so many things that remain unsaid between the two of you. That's why this is coming up. There's so many things that you might think and feel about this person or the dynamic you have with them and that you're not even aware of. That's why this is coming up. This usually shows a little boy giving a little girl a cup of flowers. But here we have a grown woman giving it to a little boy. So again, this makes me feel like a parent-child kind of dynamic. And in this version of the card, usually the little boy and girl are in this little courtyard. There's so much water in the background. Water always indicates our emotions and our intuition. There is so much love and appreciation. This is past life energy as well here. But there is a blockage in how you guys express it. If this is interpersonal, what is that blockage? The Two of Wands, I feel like you both could really value accomplishments. You both could be go-getters. There's this sense of, well, this person looks like they're hiding, right? Like this person always looks like they're hiding. What is this? I'm sorry, I'm like trying to tease it out. The Knight of Swords, you guys are always waiting. I feel like always waiting for the other one to say it first. Always waiting with the world for something to wrap up, something to change. And it never does. And that's why this change is coming in. Because you both love each other. You both care about each other. But the Five of Swords at the bottom, again, you might have like a lot of humor back and forth. The Knight of Swords, though, Two of Wands, and then Five of Swords. While you guys might kind of like, you have a dynamic that works for you, there's a lot of difficult communication. Again, going back to the blue appetite. This is somebody who wants to win at all costs. This is pettiness. You guys have often... I feel like you guys have often communicated like that, and there's always this idea of when the other person shows up like this, I will, or when XYZ changes. It's always delaying it for another time and another set of circumstances, and that's why this is about to, you know, seemingly run out of time. It's to liberate this relationship. This is so important, I'm feeling. Now, if this is not a relationship, there is something where you've been holding on to it for far too long, and it's causing a lot of chaos and difficulty. And intuitively, you've been nudged to kind of consider how this is now taking from you, how much of a burden this has become. But I think it's comfortable or it's secure. It's a safety net, right? That's why we hold on to it. And I feel that there's something that's close to your heart you'd rather be doing, you'd rather be pursuing. But we have to unlock that heart space to get closer to it. Again, that 8th house, you got to strip away what's not truly you. Because I feel like there's something where with this ghost and regret card, you don't want to end up living with regrets. And there's something about the pull, the comfort, the pull of the comfort zone that will cause you to end up, if you stay in the situation the way it is, there's unnecessary regret, and your guides are trying to kind of redirect you. Cut the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So again, This could really be like a job or something having to do with your physical world, your material world. What is this? The Empress reverse. Some of you, this is a relationship with a mother or a relationship to motherhood. Excuse my burp. And then Temperance reverse. There's something that needs to get healed here. And there's that Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. What is this one? The Three of Wands. There's something where, for some of you, you either specifically really want to be a parent or you specifically don't want to be a parent. And things are going to go the opposite way. And the whole entire purpose is that there's an aspect of self that you've been minimizing or ignoring or delaying or downplaying. And this needs to be addressed. There is potentially a mother wound, a self-worth wound. For some of you, just because we have the Empress and Emperor, there's a connection you really wanted to work out. And it's not. And what's happening is this person is coming in to try to talk with you and lend you a lot of clarity. You guys are going to have, I'm hearing, a series of conversations. For some of you, this person really regrets how they treated you. This person would like to heal the situation, and you might be very resistant to this at first. This could have synastry with your 8th house. But you might be very resistant to this person at first. Because with this grief card and the dog, again, you were very loyal to this situation, to this person, and they did not return that. You invested a lot and it just crumbled. And this person would like to come in to try to heal the situation. If this is a counterpart situation, okay. There's a lot of cards that want to come out for them. Okay. Wow, the 3 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles reversed, and the 6 of Pentacles. There's another card I'm going to look at in a minute. So if this is a counterpart situation, this would be somebody you're in, most likely in separation with, or it's very rocky. This person is going to be acknowledging for you that they were waiting for somebody like you for a long time. They've been out in the cold for such a long time, they kind of forgot what it feels like to actually have a working partnership, right? You know, these are the only 2 cards in the traditional deck, like Pentacles cards, that usually depict a religious background. So where this is all about teamwork and building together, this is something that's like ordained by the universe, right? This is a great thing, and like the universe wants me to be happy. This is always about lack and abandonment, right? And it almost feels like you've been abandoned by the universe itself. Like I'm having a crappy time and like the universe must just hate me is kind of the energy. This is a situation where you came along to get this person out of this mindset and into this understanding that the universe really does love them. You wanted to offer them a solid partnership. And they did not trust it, they did not believe it, and thus they did not respect it with the 6 of Pentacles reversed. And they want to acknowledge that. They want to come in to try to, you know, do with this as you will. This person didn't respect you before, so I always say handle with a lot of caution. If this person comes back, they might want to try again, but the biggest thing that they want to do, and this is incredibly sincere from them, they want to fix what happened. They want to heal the situation. Because they have had a lot of, I'm hearing like, come to Jesus moments. They've had a lot of, they've had spirit guides working with them, but they've had a lot of divine insight about what they did, why they did it, what it may have caused you, what it may have like cost you emotionally. And they legitimately do love you. They would like to make sure you feel better, even if you guys don't try again. And again, use your own discernment, intuition. This is a general read. You know, please feel free to book a personal either with me or with another reader you trust if you need more guidance. But this is something I am seeing here. Yep. Queen of Pentacles reversed. This needs to get healed because I feel like you've tried to move on from this, but it's been an unhealed wound. Again, you've been stuck somewhere. So whatever the situation is that's kind of resonating the most, or, you know, because it's talking about the journey you will go on, what will resonate the most in the, you know, weeks and months to come. This is in order to help you heal and get grounded again. For some of you, to reconnect with spirit again and to feel secure within your life. So I want to kind of pull a couple cards of advice for you guys with this one. Death reversed. Things need to change. This is why I'm saying there's a huge energy of death here. Things need to change, and it's okay. It's okay that things end. Beginnings can't happen without endings. You can't be afraid to begin again. but it's okay to let things end. The Three of Swords. It's okay to let the hurt out. Especially if this is in front of somebody you don't usually show your emotions to. 4, as I said this. It's okay. That's the purpose of this time. Don't hold it in anymore. It's going to make you sick. The Nine of Wands, you've been fighting for a long time. You've been fighting with this person. You've been fighting for this person. You've been fighting back these emotions. You've been fighting a long time. It's time to hang up your hat. Page of Wands reverse, because a new journey is on the horizon, but it requires we let go. King of Cups requires we step into our full emotional spectrum, and this process is meant to help you with that. So I hope this has been helpful. It's just about everything I have for group 2. I'm wishing you so much luck and blessings and healing on the journey ahead of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I get to read for you again in the future. Take care, okay? Okay. Bye. Oh, I got the hiccups. Hi, group 3. Okay, so I want to mention, of all the groups, you got the most cards, right? If you've been with me, pardon my itchy nose, for a minute, you'll know that I'm very big on, like, you get the cards you get. Sometimes you get more cards, sometimes you get less. And it's not indicative of, you know, how much spirit wants to pay attention to you or not. Sometimes cards, you know, groups will get fewer cards, but I'm channeling like a mofo. But I do want to just acknowledge you guys have the most. There's something here where, because it's 2 of these, I'm trying not to look because I haven't looked at them yet, and then 2 of these. And there might be this thing where there are choices, there are paths up ahead. It could go one of 2 ways. This could just be because there's a lot of, you know, different scenarios here. So let's take that as it resonates. But you have the Plum Blossom Tourmaline. This is about a lot about kind of just like stabilizing your emotions. These are really beautiful emotions, right? So giving like this very positive boost to the heart space. That's a very, very quick, gross oversimplification. So please feel free to add anything about Plum Blossom Tourmaline that you might know or appreciate in the comments. Because I always love hearing from you guys. We're learning together. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything. So yeah, let's see what you guys have. Oh, we have Mummy with Change. Okay, this has been a consistent thing for all the groups, obviously. But that's interesting. We'll talk about it. Pisces with the Mystic. Imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral. Oh, I love that word. Enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, oceanic, self-pitying, and illogical. I'm really drawn into magical, compassionate, and illogical. We're going to talk about it. It's okay. We love my Pisces. Gemini. Interesting. Sorry, I have an itchy nose again. With the Butterfly. Beautiful. Curious, communicative, versatile, flexible, variety-seeking, social, collaborative, brilliant, perceptive, connected, vocal, adaptive, street smart, mobile, studious, superficial, restless, and fidgety. Really drawn into communicative, collaborative, street smart, and fidgety. Also, holy, mutable energy with change. I already see where this is going. Impatience. Okay. Renewal. Sorry, I got the itchy nose. Okay. So, all right. I'm kind of seeing where this is going here. This is why there's 2 of each, I feel, because there's a similar energy, but you're going to find yourself at one end of the spectrum or another. There is something where, pardon my itchy nose, I'm so sorry. Something needs to come into balance. There needs to be change here. We have the pyramids in the background. For me, the pyramid is always about manifestation, as well as to a certain extent like ancient wisdom and knowledge. There needs to be change because you're kind of either in this energy or you're in this energy and it's out of balance. So I'll describe them. You can put yourself where you see yourself. So with the Pisces card, I was getting compassionate, mystical, and illogical. You guys are very psychic. I'm sure you've heard this many times. This is like a classic Pisces kind of energy here, where I'm feeling like very psychic, very connected to spirit, very empathetic, but boundaryless as hell. You guys have been doing root chakra work, or you're going to be called to do root chakra healing, right? When our root chakra is severely out of balance, is not functioning in a healthy way, this can often show up as like the classic signs of being an empath, right? So when our root chakra is not well defined and, in a healthy, like I said, healthy balance, we can find ourselves to be very boundaryless, right? Because the root is all about structure and containing and keeping us, secure and sturdy. When we don't have enough of that, we are not contained. And there's so much mutable energy here that I'm like, woo. So you might be somebody that's very easily able to pick up on the emotions of others. You're very affected by other people's emotions, but to the point where you don't know where they end and you begin. Now, this can be really helpful for doing spiritual work, but this can be wrecking your personal life. And a lot of you who feel drawn to this will be like, oh yeah, that's me. So you're very spiritually attuned and adept. You do very wonderful spiritual work. But at the same time, there needs to be a renewal in how you do this. There needs to be a change, and this is very predicated on root chakra healing. I do offer guidance sessions about these things, so if this is resonating, please feel free to check out my shop and the guidance sessions. You can always DM me to see if I'm a good fit for your needs. But this is like, I get so passionate about it because it's a very important topic. I have lived it. I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm feeling this group of like, this energy from this group of like, you're very concerned about how you impact others. You're very conscientious of how, especially your words impact others. 5115 on the timer when I was saying that, both of which are reduced to a 6, which is all about reciprocity and balance. You're very, very concerned to the point where you might struggle to really protect yourself. Even look at her body language, right? She's very closed up. There's a need to self-protect here is what I'm getting. And I feel like a lot of you guys feel that, but you might do that through withdrawal. And so there's this imbalance that's created because you do want to help. You might really love the people in your life, but you're also very drained by them. So there's a need to make changes in order to better be able to show up as your authentic self, and also show up in any healing or spiritual work that you like to do. There's a very huge need to focus on healing your root chakra. So we'll pull more about that in a minute, but that's the first group I'm seeing. Now, some of you are smart as hell, my little Gemini energy. So these might be your signs. You might have major placements. But this also can just be your energy. I feel like you're very magnetic. You're very warm. With the rose here, you're very drawn into the things that you love. And that's kind of what helps you expand. I'm thinking about a butterfly just unfurling its wings. I was really drawn into communicative, collaborative, street smart, and fidgety. You're very perceptive when it comes to people. And so again, this is where these two kind of opposites. You're very perceptive about people. You can kind of do this shapeshifter energy in order to, where the first group is struggling to know who they are, or they're very impacted by others. That's not you, right? But this group might be able to connect a little bit better with who they are at the soul, and who they are, who they want to be spiritually, and connect with others at a very emotional level. And this might be where you sometimes struggle, especially when it comes to finding your truth. I think you guys are looking for what you love the most, looking for what, with a kaleidoscope here, what kind of brings it all together? What's that big important thing for you? Because it's kind of like this energy. I feel like this group needs a bottom-up approach, like you build on top of a secure foundation. This group is looking for a top-down approach. You have a lot of the smarts, you have a lot of the ingenuity, the wherewithal. You can talk to people, you have a good savvy sense of what people are going to do, what they're all about. But what's lacking is this, again, top-down approach, this overarching truth, or this overarching idea, understanding, perception, purpose, quest that informs your decisions. And I'm seeing this impatience with finding your truth, right? There's the ladder, you're reaching for the ultimate truth. And there's this sense of, I feel like for this group, you both need to be reaching for more, but also having a little more patience with the process. Whereas this group, it's kind of you have that greater sense of knowing, but there needs to be more structure. So whichever end of the spectrum you tend to find yourself on, what's coming next is change in a healthy direction. So I'm going to pull for this Pisces renewal group. What will this change look like or revolve around? The Chariot. Okay, so this is going to revolve around your foundations. This could revolve around your family, but this is also shadow work. In order to find your personal power, your greatest sense of will is what I'm getting. King of Cups. There you are. In order to get you to this place of emotional stability. Now, this is somebody who's very emotionally mature, very giving. I think that you guys have that down pat. But this is usually somebody who can handle their emotions. The waves of their emotions don't throw them off. And I think generally speaking, you guys are okay with that, but it's the waves of other people's emotions that really get you. And so a good sense of boundaries, a good sense of knowing with this Chariot, what's for you, what's not for you, what is you, what's somebody else's energy. You guys really, really need to drive that home. That's going to be, I'm hearing, put to the test in order to help you reach this level of mastery. The Ace of Wands reversed at the bottom, and help you get to this new cycle that you're looking to get to. Saturn's movements, because Saturn is in tropical Pisces at the time I'm filming this, might really be impacting you. So pretty much for the next few years, this might be the quintessential journey that you're on. Now, for this Gemini and impatience energy, I love that you guys got a throat chakra card, even though you usually think of Gemini as very active in the throat chakra. You guys might even be overactive in the throat chakra. You have a hard time sitting in silence. You have a hard time staying still. Meditation's probably going to be a really huge benefit for you in reaching that higher truth, because I think both of you are meeting your destiny, but in a different way. So let's see. No, not that one. Let's see here. The Nine of Cups. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles reversed. Knight of Pentacles reversed to the bottom. Very flighty, kind of cracked out hummingbird energy here. You guys are looking for, again, what will make you really, really happy. And I think you've tried a bunch of things. But what I'm almost getting with the Page of Pentacles reversed, just because we also have that Knight of Pentacles reversed, is that you haven't stayed in one place long enough. Yeah, because I hear a ringing as I said that. You haven't stayed with one thing long enough, in one place long enough. You guys really would benefit from even taking like a day of silence, or trying to work on quieting your mind. There's something here about doing things in a stable, steady way. There's something here about the simplest actions are often the most profound kind of an energy. You might be looking for the big picture, but it starts with the small actions here. And there's something where you might almost be picking up, you're looking for what is true to you, what you want. And I feel like you guys might be prone to almost project down the road. So it's let's say something small, you're looking for your next hobby, right? You might be looking it up and researching and planning oh, I could do this. And it's you're reading about it and you're kind of oh, but this would be kind of a drag. Oh, I don't want to have to travel this far. Oh, but if I get really into this hobby and then I'm, later on down the road, I'm going to have to buy this, and this. So you talk yourself out of it before you even start. That's kind of the energy here. Is, again, there's this flitting around, this impatience. And what's being recommended is to pause, take a break, start small, meditate. There's this energy of just try it. Give it an honest try. Give it, the old college try here. Because I think you have so much going for you. You have so much, again, mental energy. You're good at bringing people together. With the butterfly imagery, you're not afraid to transform. You have so much. So the connecting factor here that brings it all together is just grounded action, as well as self-awareness and self-knowledge. I feel like a lot of you guys, again, very overactive throat chakra. So there needs to be this rebalancing that's happening. I want to pull another card for the Pisces renewal energy here. It's not this one. It is this one, though. Five of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. I think a lot of times for my Pisces group that we saw earlier, excuse my burp, a lot of the times this has really caused you to remain in this, some of you might be struggling to manifest, but in this lack mindset, is because you want to help people who are struggling, but you don't know how to protect your energy. Energy maintenance and protection is really important. You might be called to kind of go into hermit mode. Again, very heavily work on your root chakra. That's the good stuff right now. I cannot stress that enough. What's at the bottom of the deck? King of Pentacles reversed. you have so much to give, and I know you want to give. This is a very generous energy, but you can't give, you can't give what you don't have, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. You need to learn how to manage your energy, and some of this has to do with how you care for your body as well, just because of all the, cups and pentacles together. This is the connection between our emotions and our physical body. So some of you, this is material in nature. Excuse me. You might want to help people, but to a level where it materially destabilizes you. That needs to be addressed here. And that's something that's going to be coming up for you in this next chapter of your journey. Now, for my Gemini, butterfly, impatience folks here, we have the Two of Wands again. So this is always a card about needing to make decisions. I like that they have the World here. Usually this indicates to me somebody's wrapped up a cycle, but for you guys, this feels like you have the whole world in your hands. You have so much going for you. But usually I read this as like, it usually shows somebody where they've got a wand in their left hand and the wand to their right is bolted to the wall. So it's a little different here, but it's pretty similar. And that to me always talks about following the path you feel intuitively led to. For you guys, I feel like there's this sense of, the Ace of Wands, one wand is always the spark of inspiration. You guys are always chasing that spark. This is the one that's bolted to the wall, meaning it's more secure. I feel like you're always reaching for the next thing and not really like securing it, right? Not really giving the secure kind of tried and true method an honest shot. And so that's kind of what you're being asked to work on because you've got so much going for you. But it's going to be hard to really accomplish all that much, show anyone what you can do if it's always jump into the next thing whenever you're bored, if it gets hard. I feel a lot of boredom energy here of like, I'm bored with this already. So you're being asked to practice being still, sitting in silence, getting in touch with your higher truth, letting that higher truth and that higher motivation inform your decisions, right? Motivate you, because there are going to be moments where it's boring. There's going to be moments where you're like, I don't give a single shit about this anymore. But letting your higher purpose be the thing that, I think I heard this phrase recently, but it's like letting your actions be a servant of your will. If you don't know what you're playing for, you don't know what the end goal is, or that end goal isn't really sufficiently motivating for you, you're going to lose interest because things get to be not so fun sometimes. We all lose motivation, but it's about learning how to reach for that greater purpose when we do lack motivation. That's what keeps us going, that drive. And I feel like that's what you guys are looking to cultivate. The Four of Cups at the bottom, because I feel like there's something where you have this opportunity, this offer that you're trying to kind of like Spirit's trying to bring to you, you're trying to manifest, but there's this energy of like you call in all these things and then the second that you get bored or that, with collaboration, maybe there's somebody you don't want to work with, maybe that's the sticking point where it's like, I'd rather do things on my own, which is not usually kind of a Gemini trait, but that can be the case here. It might be like the second it's like you hit that roadblock, it just falls apart. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. This is a stable offer, but it's going to require stable action in return, and you will reach success because, again, you have so much going for you. So I want to pull collective advice for both groups. So like I said, whichever group you find yourself in, you're going to be kind of balancing out. I don't know why they chose to do this like this. So maybe you find that you have both issues going on, or you had one issue going on and now you're working in the other. Energy is fluid. So Seven of Pentacles reversed. I feel like this is already kind of a piece of advice when it gets difficult, because this is about investing in something. When it gets difficult, stick with it. There's more to it. Strength. Yeah, this is going to take patience. Whatever journey you're on, this is going to take patience. Three of Pentacles reversed. You're going to have to really work with Spirit, but you're also going to have to be conscientious of who you work with. With that Gemini group, if you don't like to work with others, it might be time to think about having another person involved in this project to ground your energy. If you're more of the Pisces group, you're going to have to be really looking at and being very discerning about who you align yourself with. And Six of Pentacles, again, coming into balance, either within self, between you and Spirit, or with somebody else, right? That's where there's harmony, reciprocity, and abundance. So I think this is just about everything that I've got for you guys today. I hope this has been helpful. This was a really cool reading to do, so thank you for being here with me. If you're looking for help with your specific situation, you can always check out my shop. You can DM me for a custom, all kinds of good stuff. But I am wishing you big, beautiful blessings, and I hope I get to read for you again in the future. Take care. Bye.